bumming with Bob. Let's have a few brews. We'll have some fun with the bum wine crew. So kick your feet up and grab you a beer. 'Cause damn, man, I'm glad that you're here.
All right. This is Bum Wine Bob, waiting to an all-new edition of But with Bobcat. We are streaming here live on the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel and on all your favorite podcast apps. So grab a drink and join us here where we bring you the best of the worst in cheap booze, the bottom shelf, bum wine, beers, 40s, malt liquor, all the stuff you grew up on. We cover here each and every week on the podcast. If it's stuff like this, you got these guys hiding out back here, but let's get this party going the right way and bring in Mr. Malt Liquor himself. Roadhouse is here. Roadhouse, man, how you doing?
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
I'm doing good and glad to be back.
Yes, back in business. Welcome to the country club here, where the high rollers hang out.
Yeah.
And as you can tell.
Definitely. It's a specific club. We, nothing fancy.
But it's exclusive though.
It's
you have to bring it's not like this high class, high society place, but
no.
There's a certain aura that we could say goes along with it. So
and no cover
grab
charge.
your drink. Exactly. No cover charge free. It's just BYOB. Bring what you want. Bring what you want to drink. It's a judgment-free zone.
Absolutely.
As we say here, whatever you want to drink. You want some Miller Lite.
Mm-hmm.
You want some High Life.
Absolutely.
See, Natural Light. And anything you ask her, you want the big guy here, the Old English.
I cleaned my studio up, but I do have some 211
left. I still, it's not as cluttered as it was.
I've really been into these lately, since we did that one podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I've been buying the shit out of those.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
Yeah, sadly, I don't find the edges, the Ice House edge. I don't find around here as often anymore. I used to have one spot that had it. It's always cheap. That 8%, it's going to get the job done there. So
looking at your Instagram and your LSD adventures, I'm pretty envious of what you've got going on around you compared to what I've got.
It's been a eventful couple weeks out there searching the bottom shelf for some of the good LSD of the world, and we'll get into some of the finds and the hits and misses that I know we both had out here searching recently. But before we get into the particulars with that, if you're joining here with us, if you're joining here live, chime in the chat. Chat room's always open here. If you're listening in the archives, whether on the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast app, leave a like, a subscribe, a rate, review. We are trying to push up there. We are getting closer and closer every day to the 1,000 subscriber mark here. You can see here we have just about 250 subscribers or so until 1K. And as we teased a few weeks back, I think it's pretty much official now that we'll be doing some variation of Edward 40 Hands once we hit 1,000 subscribers, just because we have to work out the logistics of it, of having two hands taped with 40s and sitting here. Logistically, I don't know exactly how it will work, but we'll find a way to make it happen in some way, shape, or form. So if you want to see that, and not just the two of us here, we are really leaving it as an open challenge to anybody who wants to join. Any of our friends out there, if it's friends who have been on the podcast before, or they've been on the fence, or anybody else in like the malt liquor community, wants to hop in and join us for a little Edward 40 hands action, feel free and tell your friends to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we've had some big pushes in subscribers over the past couple weeks. If it's people that just liked my fridge video of going through and showing off everything in the fridge that got over 50,000 views and probably almost, I think, 100 subscribers from just that video alone,
Amazing.
uh, or it's the people out there that like uh, the old school Johnny Carson clips talking about Joe Biden. Either way, whatever brought you here to the dance with us, we are happy to have you here. So we'll drink to that.
10-4.
See, and right there is one of the recent pickups there. Nothing new because I found it in the same spot before, but the Country Club, which is a rare one to come across for a lot of people. And I had a couple of people reach out to me after seeing my post the other day, asking if they can get the hookup of the Country Club and and asking to do some trades or swaps or something for it.
Yeah, I haven't seen Country Club in cans. When it was around here, it was strictly 40s.
Yeah, the one spot that I got this before they did the whole rebranding of the label, which this one does still say a sweet lager, but we talked about it a few months back that there has been pictures of a new logo that instead of sweet lager does say malt liquor again. So it looks like hopefully soon, because these have dates? All right, so these have October 21st of 24 as the date. So not that new. So these might be an older batch, but I did look when I was searching. I'm in there going through because you saw the video I posted. They had some in the cooler and then some that were just sitting in like on the row in the shelf in the middle of the store. And I'm going in there, I'm like peeking in. Like, see, is there any like on the bottom that maybe are the newer ones that they haven't gotten to yet that have the malt liquor on the cans? I'm the only jerk in there doing that, and I'm walking out with like all this stuff, and this guy's like, "Yo, man, you need a basket." I'm like, "You're right, I do." And I'm like, I try to hold glass bottles. I got cans. I'm like trying not to drop anything.
Right.
It's a
Skill.
juggling act.
Multi-talented LSD adventures.
Mm-hmm. That's what we do for the people out there. When it comes down to this stuff and getting out there searching for it, you have to do what you got to do. You have to risk.
Sure.
As we said, you have to risk your life sometimes going into some of these
just going through
establishments
the community
and going through here and where I picked up the Country Club is just right outside of a sketchy town, we'll say. It's technically in the same town, but it's like right outside. You're not in like the heart of the hood or anything like that. You're right outside. It's right off of like a that's somewhat major road. So it's still passing through. So you pop in, you go in, you start looking around, and this is the place where I found the Country Club before, which I was hoping they would have the 40s again, because the one time when I found it for the first time, like 4 years ago, they had the 40s of the old logo before they switched it to this one. And I was still hoping I could get another 40 of the Country Club, but at least in this place, they don't stock it with it. I'm not even sure if I've really seen anybody else post any 40s of Country Club recently. So I don't know if they're still making it in 40s or if they just switched it to the cans for now.
Yeah.
But smooth. It says a smooth lager on the can. It is. It's definitely smooth. You can't go wrong with it.
It's been so long I can't even remember what a Country Club tastes like.
Yeah, I'll have to go when I go back the next time. So I got more people out there. I'll have to stock up for like everybody to send it out to say, here we go. Send out everything. Here, you get a
Right.
country club, and you get a country club. You get a country club.
Just
Send it
start
all
throwing 'em
around
out
to it's throwing to be like like Stone Cold catching the the
Yeah.
country clubs out there and seeing what you can find out there. But you never know. You go out there, you got to get searching. As we say, you get out there searching, see what's out there, see what's on the shelves for what the people see out
Mhm.
there. So they say you never know what you can find in your travels if you keep searching high and low those shelves.
Yeah.
And
And
that's just the tip of the iceberg right there, because we have more to go through and more to dive into here today. So buckle up, kids. We're in it for the long haul here tonight.
Well, I'm needing to crack another one, and it's kind of one I've been wanting to get my hands on for a little while, and you've been covering a lot of it lately, and every time I go to get it, it's sold out, or I forget where it was at because it's really sparse around here.
Yeah, I know you
But
you have
I
that
was
problem
able,
sometimes where you can't find the stores that you uh
yeah, I have that a lot.
you've
It's
had
called.
stuff before.
So I finally got my hands on the Garage Beer Lime.
Oh, there you
I
go.
had
Okay.
the traditional beer, but I've been dying to try this one, so this is going to be it for me.
All right, there you go. Cheers,
Cheers.
garage beer. See, right there. There it is. That garage beer
Ice
lime.
cold.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that lime's right
It's
there.
got that hint. It's just that hint of lime with it.
Just enough. Just enough.
Yeah, I been I say we've been covering the garage beers a lot lately after we had Tony on with us from the Dude Network. Then I had the pleasure of joining Tony and Jonesy this past Friday on the Dudes After Dark podcast on the Dude Network, where we did crack open some more garage beers, and I also talked Tony into going down the Four Loko lane as well, and
Yeah.
he did, and I didn't get a chance to cut up the clip or anything, but he did his own little LSD video searching for
Oh,
Loko
really?
to find it. Yeah, he had a video of him going into one store. He was going into the cooler and looking around, and they didn't have any Four Loko there. So then he ended up going to one of the drive-throughs
Okay.
and asked the girl working there, "Do you have any Four Loko?" She said, yes. And then she's like, "Oh, I think he asked what flavors." And he's like, "You know what? Just pick one. It's all the
Oh,
same,
do
right?"
that.
That was pretty much. He pretty much said, "Yeah, just pick whatever one you
Yeah.
want." So he ended up with a jungle juice for
Okay.
Loko. That, I mean, I'm not going to spoil it. He wasn't the biggest fan of it, but he also said he's not a big fan of the fruit punch, Hawaiian punch flavor
All right.
that's of like the jungle juice, and I had brought along the sour melon for Loko to try. I mean, not to try. I mean, I've had it, but this is the new can though.
Yeah.
If you see
Yeah.
the new look for Loko can for the
I
sour
like
melon.
sour melon. I need to
And
travel
yeah,
back
yeah,
down
I had
there.
that, and I was like, "Whew, that's a solid one." So
Yes.
we were going through and drinking the Four Loko and had some garage beer, and then we got to the point of mixing up a concoction with the lime garage beer and the Four Loko. He did the lime garage beer with the jungle juice Four Loko, and I did the lime beer with the sour melon Four
Okay.
Loko, and it was pretty good. Mine was good. I liked it, and he said that the lime with the jungle juice wasn't bad either. So might
Yeah.
be another concoction to add to the list.
Sure enough. Did
Yeah.
you talk to him the next day at all?
Yeah, he said he had a very rough a rough day. He sent me a message the next day
You
because I
know,
mean
the
he
next day
drank
is part of the Four Loco experience.
because I mean you know him. He can pound down those garage beers
Hmm.
pretty quick. And then add in the Four Loco and having some more garage beers after that. Uh, and then they recorded another show after I was done with them. They were recording a show for Saturday after it because yeah that morning he sent me a message said a holy hangover.
Yeah, that's great.
And I said, yeah, I was feeling it a little bit. I could tell that I had drank the night before, but it wasn't like
Sure.
a terrible hangover. That he said, we recorded that show for. He said we did the show, which was an hour and change with those guys. Then they recorded a show for another hour. And he said, then my wife came home and had a wild ass story. So then I drank 3 more and I did some damage. So I mean, he's probably almost down, probably close to probably a 12 pack
Sure.
and a Four Loco. So
Fantastic.
that will
That was,
always do it to you
yeah,
there.
that rehashes your youth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially when you're not used to the Four Loco, and
It is a
while
different beast.
it
Definitely
is,
is.
it's that buzz, and that's what people say. And then they brought it up too. He was like, how many of these can you drink in a sitting? And I was like, look, you drink one, you'll get a good buzz.
Right.
You drink two, you're starting to play with fire a little bit there. You're gonna probably cross over that blackout line at some point. And then if you hit three, now I've never personally hit
I
three.
don't think
Now
I've ever
I don't think
attempted to.
so. I mean, our buddy Kevin, he said that he hit three and changed that in a couple occasions uh, when he was out. So when we talk
You
to him
know,
next we'll bring that up again with him again about the three locos, which turns into the fifth loco.
that's what I had a discussion with a guy the other day on Four Loco, and I brought up a good point. Is I like that Four Loco is 13.9, but I kind of would like to have a lower ABV because some of those are really good where I want more than one. And if it had lower ABV, I could, go ahead and take on a couple more. But two, I know two is definitely my limit. I don't think
Hmm.
I've ever cracked a third in one go.
Yeah,
So
I told him too. I brought up the story of us doing the jungle juice comparison when we did the four loco jungle
yeah,
juice,
that
and
was
we did
rough.
and we
Yeah.
did the juice jungle juice, and and that was 2 cans of a 13.9 and a 14% of a malt beverage, essentially pretty much the same thing, and that was drinking two of those in one sitting
Yep.
and then having a couple other beers on top of that. And then I fully documented to them again. I said my experience of when I did that. Then I was sitting here and when we were done recording. Then I was hopped on with Uncle on their show quick, and then I was doing another live stream with somebody else who
Yeah,
was
you went
live,
ham that night.
and I was going all over the place. And as soon as I stood up to go back upstairs to call it a night, and I was like, oh god, this is all coming right back out, and it did right after, which
Oh,
which was probably for the best that I got it all out that
sure.
night instead of waiting for the next day because that hangover probably would have been pretty terrible. Well, I did not feel great the next day anyway. It would have been worse.
Yeah, I that night after I got off, I was done, but I managed to clean the fridge of any leftovers in there. There was the kitchen was destroyed when I woke up the next morning. There was
Like what happened? Did an animal get in here? What happened to this place? How did? Why is this such a mess in here?
One of
Like,
the things was, and this is terrible. My wife had made dinner and she put me a bowl in the fridge and I put it in the microwave, warmed it up, and when I got it out, I dropped it,
oh,
and it was like almost like beef stroganoff.
okay.
And when it hit the floor, it mushroom clouded on all the cabinets, on the stove, the floor, and she's already in bed, so I don't want to scream, "What the fuck?" But I did go real quietly and
Hmm.
called for all the dogs
Clean this up.
to clean up the mess.
Can somebody help me clean this up? Dog, get the
Yes,
dogs in here, please. Somebody needs to
yes.
help me clean this
I
up.
wanted to call them quiet enough to where they didn't wake her up, but they came
Yeah, but
right in and
yeah, exactly.
they
Quiet enough you don't wake her up, but just enough they hear you, and then they'll
yeah,
take care of
and they
the
came in and put in work, and they didn't disappoint. It didn't leave no evidence.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'll take care of the business for you there. I mean, other than you having to clean up whatever you broke in the.
No, it's just plastic. It's just
Oh, so
Tupperware,
oh,
so it
okay,
didn't
all right.
break.
Oh, it's
It
okay,
just
all right.
hit. It hit flat on the floor and came
It's just
straight up.
okay, all right. I got you. Okay, all right. So it's just the contain everything fell out of the container on the floor, but
Yes.
the container was just like, okay, pick that up, throw it in the sink. We'll wash that. Just clean up the food
Yep.
over there. Well, that's the risk. Thought you were gonna say it was gonna explode all over the inside of the
Uh,
microwave, which is always the biggest pain of anything. You're like, hey, yeah, let me just heat this up for 2 minutes, and next thing you know, you hear it start going. Pop, 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 pop. Then you open up the microwave, and it's just covered in whatever crap you're trying to cook
yeah.
over there. I'm like, every time, it never fails. It's like I had this on for 30 seconds, and somehow the thing can splatter all over the inside of the microwave. And that's sober too. I mean, it's not. I mean, that's
Yes.
just.
Yes. That's not. It's in the morning, in the afternoon. It doesn't matter when, how drunk or sober. Uh, Snap, crackle, pop in the microwave. That's all.
I know. See, and look, and hey, we coordinated our shirts tonight. Uh,
Unreal that we were on
for
the same
once
track with the black and
with
white.
here. Then, like I said before, I broke out because it's cooling down out here. Well, at least now we're at 45 degrees here today, and
Hmm.
I think even though I think by the weekend we're supposed to be back in the 70s. Like, I don't know about you guys if it's gonna warm up again,
Yeah.
but it's like we've been cold these past few days. And it's gonna get back up into the 70s again. But I was like, I gotta break out since we still don't have, and I've been pushing for Loko to get some of the four Loko beanies back in stock for like the past 2 years, and they just kind of go on deaf ears. That maybe this year, maybe this will be the year that they finally bring them back. Because on the four Loko shop, they still have like on like their header on the page, they'll have like there we go. That's for Efren. Efren will in,
Different.
will enjoy that one. And they have the picture on like the cans of like the old school ones that they used to have. And I keep saying, I'm like, guys, when are you gonna bring back the Four Loco beanies just in time for winter? So look, Four Loco, that's on you guys to get on that and get those beanies back out there.
It's not a far stretch to request that. I mean, if you
No,
ever wanted
if
a Four Loco hand koozie,
I was gonna
I
say
mean,
you want a Four Loco forearm hand job koozie, that you can pay $69 for
yeah,
one of those. Man, I'm just looking to pay like $20 for a, a hat to keep my head warm in the winter, guys. I mean,
yep.
you know, that's it. That's the least we can ask for here.
These are really good.
Yeah, the lime, because I just finished the other night during the Jets game. I finished off the last of the lime and of the garage beers that I had because Tony's like, man, you're really going all in on these garage beers, and And as I said before, I said, "Hey, we got the spot here, Garage Beer. You wanna hop on board? We'll make the room. You want to be a
Yeah.
sponsor? I mean, get we already said we had the Garage Beer and Four Loko combo. We can get Garage Beer.
Yep.
So, hey, let us know.
Listen,
More than welcome.
there's not a person out there that promotes harder than you do when you got
True.
backing.
That's it. We go out there. I'm still waiting on that message from Colt 45 though. Those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Bunch of
I
slackers
double-checked.
out there.
I was on the other day. I haven't been a whole lot on social media in the last couple weeks, but I did check back in my messages, and they seen my last response, and they didn't, they responded
Yeah.
to, but
I mean, it took them what 10 years or 8 years to finally make a post on their Instagram. So
yeah,
we'll cut them a little slack for
just a
the
little.
time being, but I'm still keep my eyes peeled every day for that. But I got the this one country club here is down, but it's time to move on to the next beverage that I picked up,
Okay.
which is a new one for us here, and it was a unique find when I saw it, and that was here the 24-ounce bottle of the Red Stripe Lager
Wow.
beer, the Jamaican lager beer, and it has been a long time since I've had a Red Stripe, and I've had very few Red Stripes in my life. I mean, I think the most of the notoriety it got from the commercials they had probably in the early 2000s with the Hooray Beer commercials.
Yes.
And I might have had it a few times after that. And then I know a few years ago, I think I was over at my cousin's house and for some sort of barbecue, and they had a cooler with like random beers, and they had just the regular, the regular 12-ounce bottles. And I
Yeah.
saw it, I'm like, screw it, let me drink it, why not? And it wasn't bad from what I remember with it,
Yeah.
but it's never been anything that I've gone out of my way to drink. So when I came across these, because I don't know if this is new, these 24-ounce bottles, or they're just the first
I've
time
seen
I've
them.
seen them. I saw them and I'm like, I've never noticed these before. So I
Yeah.
was like, I can't not buy it. So I had to pick one up here. So like I said, we're going to the Red Stripe Country Club here today to give this a shot. And I guess that's not a twist off.
That's what I was gonna ask.
I wasn't
Twist
sure if
off
it
the
was or
bottle.
not. And that's why I made sure I was ready to go with
Yes.
my bottle opener here. So there we go. Put that in here. It has a very strong smell to it. But hey, it's beer. Hooray Beer. We will we'll drink to that. We got the Red Stripe Lager beer. Could be the bumwinebob.com beer of the week. So
Okay.
let's give it a shot. Cheers.
Cheers. I wonder if the Hooray Beer ad falls up after John Candy's Cool Running.
Yeah. Hey, the official beer of the Jamaican bobsled team, maybe.
Yeah.
I was more just mesmerized kind of by the bottle of the
Great bottle.
I mean, it's like look how tiny the the
Like a
opening
normal
is
12-ounce
for
bottle.
that. And it's the bigger, it's like still a stubby bottle, but 24 ounces of it compared to the 12-ounce ones. But
Like the perfect size.
Whew, there we go.
There you go.
Since 1928, Red Stripe has embodied the spirit, rhythm, and pulse of Jamaica and its people. Bottled and brewed by Desnones and Jedda's Limited, Kingston, Jamaica, and copyright 2016 Red Stripe Company, White Plains, New York. Oh, questions. Okay, it's questions. You can call or email Heineken USA at staffcom.com. So I guess they're under the Heineken umbrella,
Interesting.
which is interesting because, well, it's a Jamaican beer. It has a similar taste to a Heineken somewhat. That's what it reminds me the
Okay.
most of, is that taste. Because Heineken has a distinct taste
Yes.
to it, and it's kind of polarizing to some people. Like, either you like Heineken or you hate it. It seems
Yeah.
for most people, and I like it. It's not a everyday go to, but if I see it somewhere and it's an option to drink, I'll pick up. Like, I was at my friend's house maybe a month or so ago, and he's like, "Oh, go in the fridge, grab a beer." And he had the usual, Coors Light. There was Bud. Then he has like his high noon seltzers that he's in love with, and then there was some like Heinekens in the back that somebody had brought to a party and left there. And I'm like, what? Screw it. I'll do some Heinekens tonight, and drank those. And I'm like, it has a distinct flavor to it, which
Mhm.
doesn't taste like your regular light beer or a Bud or something like that. Let's see. We have King of Delphinius Delphus says that Red Stripe is awesome with Jamaican food. I could imagine that. I mean,
Sure.
it's got to fit. I mean, every beer that's from a certain country or area always pairs well with whatever food they're known for.
Yeah.
So,
I've been to Jamaica, and we stayed at a sandals resort, and the only beer you can get on a sandals resort in Jamaica is Red Stripe. Now, they had Red Stripe on draft. You just walk around, you get as much as you want. But apparently, the package that I had stayed, we had Red Stripe bottles in our room. And some guests that stayed there didn't have the package set. So I'm walking around the resort drinking Red Stripe out of the bottle, and they're like, "Where'd you get those?" They said, "All it's available is draft." I'm like, every time I go back to my room, it's full again. So yeah, I said, "Here, you can have." I had two of them, one unopened. You can have this one.
take this one.
Yeah, So I don't know if it was. I had it here and I've had it there. I really don't know if there was much of a difference in, how fresh or taste difference or anything like that. But I mean, I've always loved Red Stripe.
Yeah, it's
And Jamaican jerk chicken.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely, yeah. I would love to do that with some Jamaican food. I think that'd be the perfect compliment to it there. So maybe you need to work on some of your recipes over there.
I've been
Work
trying.
work on some of that chicken. See if you can get some
Yeah,
Jamaican chicken going.
sure enough. I haven't this week, but I've been trying hard to come up with a good fried chicken uh flour recipe. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but the chicken is cooked great and perfect, but I'm just falling short of that seasoning in my breading.
Mm-hmm.
So I need help with that.
Yeah, talk to Tony. Let's see.
Hmm.
He was asking when I was with those guys the other night, when I said, I said sadly, you couldn't make it to for the podcast, but
Yeah.
I told him that you were drinking your four Loko earlier that evening while working on your chicken recipe. And he's like, "Oh, he's still working on that." I'm like, "Yeah, he's trying to get it down. He's trying to get it perfected over
That
there."
night, that evening, I had some crazy scheduling and overwork, and I wanted to get that Four Loco in early, get the cooking done, and get to bed. And that chicken turned out really good. There's just a void there. There's just something that my palate needs that I can't seem to figure out what it is. But that was the best so far. I don't know if I need more salt in it or
It's trial
maybe
and
some
error.
more
Trial and
wheat.
error. Just keep trying it out.
Oh, it's a wonderful journey.
Yeah, it's
That
try. I mean, who doesn't like that to go through and just keep making stuff and trying it out?
yeah,
To see, okay, what works, what doesn't work, and you go from there.
like last summer when we were smoking absolutely everything we could put in our smoker. I
Hmm.
mean, we've turned out some good stuff last year.
Yeah, you just got to keep going with it. That's the
This year's the year of fryer for me.
fryer. Yeah. And
One of
that
the
you
good,
don't, and at least with the fryer too, you don't need to worry about the weather outside. You're doing it all in the
Mhm.
house, so regardless if it's rain, snow, sun, cold, you can do it right there.
And it's kind of risky. It's kind of dangerous of how I'm frying. I'm not just heating up oil in a skillet and frying. I'm doing it in a pressure cooker, like KFC.
Yeah, yeah. The colonel would be proud.
I'm telling you, and it makes a difference. Honestly, it's been fun, and I'm getting it down, but it's scary. I mean, that's I got a good pressure cooker, no, but I'm not worried about it exploding or something like that. But
Right. It does leave the chance of
yes,
of something going wrong with it, but
yeah.
just uh just make sure you keep that. Don't put the Four Loco too close to it. Will cause it to combust it.
No, okay, normally when I'm cooking like that, I'm not drinking like that. That
No.
was a one-off
Oh
occasion
no.
because
That was a special. It's a
time
special
time was
occasion.
an issue. I wanted to get a good buzz going at the same time. Um, I didn't want to have to drink 6, 8 beers. I just wanted to have one good drink, and the Four Loco comes through every time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what people still don't, not that they don't understand it, but uh like I posted, the one of the videos with the LSD, and somebody commented, said, Four Locos trash. And I'm like, it's it depends on what you're looking for in the drink, and
Yes,
the flavors might not be for everybody, but honestly some of them aren't bad. Some flavors of Four Loko you'd be like, I can do without that flavor, but some of them you can drink and actually enjoy it.
yes,
So, but to some people, if you're not into that type of drink, then yeah, you're not gonna like it. That's the trade off with
yeah.
it.
If I could get the Four Loco USA and say a non-alcohol drink, that would be my everyday in the fridge. I love that flavor.
Yeah, the flavor. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, Four Loco has a purpose. Nobody's drinking Four Loco just to,
right.
socialize.
There was like that meme that somebody said, like, I can't wait to sit down tonight and read a good book and drink a Four Loco. I mean,
Yeah.
no, nobody nobody's doing that. I
It
mean,
it's got a specific purpose, and everybody that drinks it on a regular knows what that is. And that's
mhm.
buzz, baby.
It's gonna get you that buzz. It's gonna get you where you need to go,
Yeah.
and it depends on what you're doing. And even uh, Steph also said, she was talking about the Four Loco again, and I said, hey, the offer's on the table to come on here for the redemption.
That's my
And she
girl.
said, she said she had a busy October, but maybe in November she'll grab another Four Loko and come here and join
Yeah.
us. I said you can pick a different flavor. Maybe the Warheads wasn't your flavor, or I mean, and she said I'll make sure I don't have to go out and see a band that night. So I'm like, that probably helps too. Try not to have any other plans
And she
besides leaving your
pre-gamed
house.
hard for that, didn't she?
Yeah. She said she was drinking before, and I think she said she was drinking some Mickey's before then. Then she cracks open the Four Loko, and and then just bails on the podcast. And
Well, she started falling forward.
mm-hmm.
She got
That's when you know. The clip's out. Anybody out there who doesn't know what we're talking about,
Yes.
you can see the clip on the YouTube. I cut it all down for you in the Steps Four Loko
Your
adventure
breakdown is
tracker,
magnificent.
breaking it down in a short. If you don't want to go through the whole hour and change podcast we did, I broke it all down for you in about a 5-6 minute video documenting her Four Loko adventure of her starting with it and then watching as the buzz comes through, goes
Yep.
up, and then goes down.
Wonderful time lapse.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's the type of content you get here. That's why you gotta subscribe, watch long, and join us here. I mean, it's viewers like you out there that make this possible. As we see, I'm gonna get the ticker going again, guys. We need to get some subscribers up there. It's free, doesn't cost you a thing. You get out there and subscribe. Just about even less than 250 now that are needed. So it could be you if you want to
If
be
you want to
number
be
one.
the cool guy in the conversation, you bring it up. So I watched this great podcast, and you guys need to check it out and spread the good word. I had a good idea about the 1,000 subscriber with Edward 40 Hands. Is if we hit to that point, I'll probably bring a guest. So it kind of works.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to recruit somebody that's brave enough to try it. But I think moving everything back and bringing a second in beside me might be a good idea.
Can make it work. Work. You can see out there, and like I said,
Just for safety reasons.
It is. It's safety first here. We're all about safety here.
Yes.
Making sure everybody's doing okay and nobody gets hurt out here on the on the podcast. Because especially now, since there's no more. Well, I was going to say there's no more plastic 40s around, so we're going all glass now.
Yeah.
Even though the other day in my travels, I hit up one of the spots. I was going over to my buddy's house on Sunday to watch football. His wife and kid were away for the weekend, so he's like, okay, we'll get a weekend away from wives and kids and hang out on Sunday and watch football. So I'm going over there. I stop at the one liquor store, and I'm looking through, and it's the same one a few months ago. I posted a video of it there where they still had the plastic Old English bottles in the cooler. I go back again the other day. They're still there. I'm like, it's probably the same ones because they had June 24 dates on there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do my part. I'll buy one to start clearing off these shelves.
Sure, make room for the goods.
Nobody around here is buying anything, and every other store I've been to in the past 4 months has all had the glass 40s of Old English now.
And that's why the plastic's still there.
Yeah, so nobody's buying it. Okay, so I pick up the 40 of Old English, then I get a 4-pack of these 16-ounce Colt 45 cans. So you're looking at like $6 and change for all that stuff there. So So I go over there, and I don't know if you've had this before, where you have a friend, and you have like your core group of friends, but you have a friend who also has like a second group of friends that
Yes.
you only hear about, but you've never actually met
Mingled.
them
Yeah.
before. So uh, that's kind of what this was like. And the one guy, uh, Bruce, this story's for you, because he's one of the guys that I had met for the first time, and and I made sure to get them all to subscribe for the on the YouTube, and to follow, and on the
Yep.
Instagram. So uh, so you see that. So we have our fantasy football league that we've been doing for 24, 20, 22 years with our friends, like all my friends I've grown up with. We all do it every year. And then my friend, he has another league with one guy he used to work with, and then all like his friends. But they become close in that league
Okay.
over the past like 15 years or so. So you always hear about like this other group of friends that he
Yeah.
has. And he's like, oh yeah, he's like, most of them are coming over to hang out and watch football. You want to come over? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? So I go over there. I meet these guys, and and they've all heard about me before, because my friend has told me like, oh yeah, you're the guy, with the podcast, and,
Right.
and all that stuff. And what are you drinking today? And I go through it. I'm like, okay, I got one of these. I got some Colt 45, and then drinks start flowing. You're having a good time. Then I broke out some of the Four Loko stickers I had with me, giving them out to
Yeah.
the people. Sadly, the Four Loko fleshlight one was already taken, so nobody got uh, nobody got that one that
That's a
day.
classic. I'd love to
But
have like 5 more of those.
yeah, I think I might have a few. I'll see if I can hook you up with
No, I think
with
I've
some,
got one left
yeah,
here.
with
So
some
I'm
more of
I'm
those
good.
there.
I
But
put one
so
on my
yeah.
little nephew's water bottle.
You put that right next to the Lindsay Rider sticker, and
Oh yeah.
then you're good to go with that. So we're hanging out, having a good time, and one thing I can say is that I can be like a chameleon when it comes to mingling with people, because it doesn't matter what group it is. If the drinks start flowing, I can kind of meld my way in
Yes.
and join it. Because not,
Same.
and I don't want to say it's a gift to an
It is.
extent, because I know I have other friends that would either be like, hey, I'm not coming over there because I don't like these guys, or I don't know them. But
No.
it's like, you go in there, you have your drinks, have a good time, and then they're like, they're like, oh, we've kind of like allowed you into to our second group over here of people, of okay, if somebody leaves that fantasy league, we'll invite you, and you'll be next on the list to join us over here. It's like
Yeah, I know what you're saying. One of my closest friends, well, he came on the 10-year anniversary pod real late, like the third hour. Um, so we distance over uh mileage. Okay. It's not that we're not close anymore. It's just that we're not close together anymore. And he's established a new set of friends. And, when I go and hang out and finally see him for the first time or in a long time, it's it's odd. It's like we are still ourselves, but these people aren't used to seeing how we act together,
yeah, yeah,
which is totally different to how they all act together. And yeah, you just kind of feel, it's not that I felt awkward. It's just like, is maybe selfish. No, this is my friend from way back.
right, right,
We have more history, so I'm higher on the totem pole as far as
True. Yeah, you're like I've known this guy longer, so we go way
yeah,
back. We know more, and we've seen each other more and hung out more than you guys might have over the short amount of time.
yeah. And at the same time, it's like you don't want to take away from that or be a wedge in any way. So you kind of pull back a little bit and you're not yourself for that little bit of time until everybody gets hammered and then everybody turns loose.
Yeah, yeah.
And my,
Once the alcohol is the great equalizer,
yeah,
as they always say. To
and the curtain drops.
exactly. But I'm like offering like, hey, like look in the fridge, like, oh, this all the beer. I'm like, hey, I got Colt 45 on it. Colt 45. I got this. Then you break out the the bourbon, and then then things start
In
getting
that situation, I
getting
always
crazy.
rolled in with my 40s in brown bags.
Well, and literally that's I rolled in with I had this in my brown bag koozie, and then one guy Bruce, he's like, oh, what do you got in there? And I'm like he's like well
I
first
don't
like
show them. I
he's
let
like
them
what
try
kind
it.
of yeah he's like well first like he's like what kind of cheap wine did you bring? And I said no, not going any bum wine today, but I just flipped up the top of the bag and showed him
There you go.
the top of that, and then was breaking into the other stuff after, and
Same.
then we split a big can of Foster's as well.
Oh, I almost got one of those today. I guess the old cans are making their comeback around my area because I've seen it at several places. Ready.
Yeah.
And the Beast Ice, I'm starting to see them come back in the big cans.
Oh, really? I've not seen the Beast Ice cans in
Yeah.
the fat. I see the High Life ones a lot of places, the 32-ounce big cans, but I haven't seen the Beast Ice
Yeah. Well, where I
ones in
picked
a
this up
while.
today, they had a shit ton of them. But I'd never been in that store where I picked these up. It was the first time. And I actually, I thought I was onto something big and you busted my bubble.
Yeah, well, you still found something
I did.
different
I did.
and new, and you were hoping you were on the breaking news front there.
Yeah.
Now
I
you send
really
me
thought I was like, oh, I've never heard or seen this one before.
yeah. So there's a variety of MD 2020 that you might have had, you might have not had, you might have heard of it, maybe not.
Maybe not.
It's the, I mean, I'm sorry for the shitty small picture here. If you can see right in the middle there, very very small. It's the MD 2020, the habanero lime arita.
I'm a Rita.
The great wine with citrus, wine spirits, natural flavors, and certified color, 13%. Served chilled. They want to make sure that this
Yeah.
tells you that it's served chilled. So Roadhouse finds this bottle. He sends me the picture of it. And he's like, "Oh, I found a new MD 2020." And I looked at it, and I'm like, "It's not new. I know." Because I'm like, because they don't make it anymore. So I'm like, I don't know how old that bottle is. Because it's
Listen,
probably at least 10 years. Because I know when I first started with the website in 2014 that there were a few people that would post pictures of that a lot and say they were drinking it or they saw it. And yep, there you go. So if you
yeah.
can take a look at
Let me get the label in there a little bit better.
yeah, yeah, there you go. In the MD 2020, yeah, habanero lime arita
Yeah.
right there.
So I want you guys to look at the picture Bob put up. And that's that good lime green, almost as green as this can, right?
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah,
No, this is the color that it is now. After
yeah,
you can see the date.
yeah,
I don't know if it's 2013 or 2016.
yeah. I don't know how the
I
what the
guess
codes are
I'm
for
guessing
that.
that is
I think it
the
might be yeah, I
16th
don't
week
know.
of 2013.
It could be. Could be.
Because in proper business, the year goes first and then the date.
Right.
All right. So I'm guessing the 2013 to 16th week is when this is made. Shelf life turns it brown.
Yeah. What are you looking at? 11 years. 11-year-old bottle
And
of
there's this funky little thing in the corner.
yeah, you got some of those like the floaters
Lit-
in there, and
It's
which is
got its
similar
own
to the
ecosystem.
yeah. Where's the trying to see where I have that bottle. I was trying to find the bottle I had of the old bottle of the blue raspberry MD 2020, which you could tell the color was so much darker compared
Yeah.
to a brand new bottle of
Hmm.
the blue raspberry. So that's when you know it's been sitting around for a while.
But when you brought that picture up right there, I was like, I ain't nowhere close to the
Yeah,
color.
that's that bright. It's a bright lime green color for it there.
I think what's going to happen is that bottle will never be cracked open, and it'll be on a shelf for people to look at because
Yeah,
I'm half afraid to
it's an
crack and try it.
artifact. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely it's not on the MD 2020 website. Um, and it hasn't been for years. I know because
Oh fuck! I
as
thought
long
I
as
was
I
gonna
as I
get
go through,
it.
because it's got the old. I mean they only changed the logo a couple years ago to switch it up a little bit. So
There's
it's
like
not
8
like
bottles of it.
oh, but ooh,
Ooh, that was a good one. I kind of felt like Booger from Revenge of the Nerds.
ooh, see, well. I guess what are we doing? What are they putting a limit on this? It says stream expired here on the. See, this is why we can't have nice things, people. You see this here with the with it's not the StreamYard trying to screw us over with price increases. And then we're trying out the Rumble studio here, which just says stream
Huh.
expired to wrap up it. They're like pulling the curtain on us. You're like, no, don't talk about that habanero lime
Wow.
Rita or anything like that. So
Well,
that's why we need viewers like you to subscribe and spread the word about
sure.
the bottom shelf and the best of the worst in cheap booze before before we get the plug pulled on. If they haven't pulled the plug
They haven't pulled it yet. They're getting
already
ready.
on
Yeah.
us, they're getting ready to do it. I don't know if it's because didn't we go more than an hour the last time on here?
I
I could have
think
sworn
so.
we did here, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised. Everything's got limits on everything.
Well, we'll check
So
it out and see what's going on and
yeah,
see what we
yeah,
can put
but
together.
yeah. I mean, I think we hit all the bullet points we had for the most part here. I mean, you
Yeah.
know us. We could sit here for another hour and BS about random nonsense, which people like. I have a lot of people that reach out and say, "Hey, I've liked the podcast with you guys recently with just
Yeah.
random nonsense." But we do have some other guests in the works that we're gonna have come join in back. We teased the Steph coming back on next month.
Yeah.
Kevin the tattoo guy, Kevin the poker. I think he's going to be joining us here probably by the end of the month for the special Loko Ween episode
Can't
for
wait for
Halloween.
that.
We'll be doing that, and a couple other people out there. So in the meantime, tell your friends right there, subscribe to the Bumwine Bob YouTube channel. Don't forget to spread the word about the best of the worst in cheap booze. Get us to that 1,000 subscriber mark, and make sure if you want to see some 40s in hands, then you'll do your part and 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 subscribe to the channel. So just hey, any little bit helps. Just
You're
share,
right.
just share the post. Like it. Just tell your friends if you enjoyed anything we did here, just a little tiny bit. That's all it takes to to make it happen. So Roadhouse, anything
Yeah.
else you wanna say before
Hey,
we
listen,
before they
I've
before they
enjoyed
kick us
this
out of here?
episode. I enjoyed this episode. I always enjoy sitting here spreading the good word. If you guys would do us a favor, like, subscribe, share, get us out there. We're putting in the work so you don't have to.
He told you right there. See the bottom shelf. Get out there, get searching, get your own
Yeah.
get your
Do
own
your due diligence
LSD.
and get out there and start searching.
Get out
Find
there.
something, tag us in it, send it to us. Uh, Definitely you'll get the exposure you need for finding something special.
Yeah, and anything you want to suggest that
Yeah,
we cover,
suggestions are good.
we're more than happy to do that as well. So grab a drink. We hit the Red Stripe
Yep.
Country Club. Where is it here? Here today. Roadhouse finally got his hands on the lime garage
Yeah.
beer. He's a couple weeks too late, but he
That's
made
all
it.
right.
He made it in there in time.
It's all right.
So tell your friends, like, subscribe, rate, review the podcast, smash that subscribe button on YouTube. We're trying to hit that 1,000 mark, people. Check out the website at bumwinebob.com. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Motherfuckers!